In today's session, we will try to write the program based upon the concepts which we studied in our previous class. In our previous class, we have looked into a couple of library functions which will help us in performing input and output operations on a file. Okay, now let us quickly have a quick recap on what we have studied yesterday. Right? The broad, can you tell me what is the broad classification for input and output operations on a files?
Unformatted operation.
Unformatted and formatted.
Yes. In unformatted, subclassifications.
Character oriented and integer oriented.
Yes. In character oriented, what are the functions available with us?
Get C and put
Get
C.
C and put C.
Yes. Get C does what it does?
Input operation.
It is an input operation, and output operation is put C. Right? Now, based upon these two functions, library functions, we will try to implement the IO operations on our files. Okay. Before we begin, I want to just go through another two more functions. Okay, these two functions are not on the files but on the standard input-output devices. Right. Now, we have studied the printf and scanf. Right. So printf and scanf are what? These are for, if you remember, you have studied in your first semester. Printf and scanf are the formatted input and output operations that has to be done through the standard input and output devices. So printf is a formatted output operation, means the content will be displayed on the standard output device, that is monitor. Scanf is a formatted input operation, right? It is used to read the contents from the keyboard, that is standard input device, right? We have also studied two more. If you remember, we have studied something called as a puts also, right? What this puts does, it is a unformatted. It is an unformatted string function which will print on the screen. Similarly, we have also studied get s. Do you remember, students? Puts and gets are the unformatted, and printf and scanf are the formatted. Both are for the string of values or a collection of values. Similarly, we have two more functions which will implement a character based or a character oriented input and output operations on standard devices. They are called as get char, and second one is called as put char. Now, by just looking at the name of the function, you can think that get char is for the input operation and put char is for the output operation. The get char is used for what? Reading a single character from keyboard. Whereas put char prints, or we can say output operation, right? It prints a single character on terminal, or on, we can say, on the monitor. These two, get char and put char, are used as the input operation and output operation, wherein a single character can be read or single character can be printed, right? That is what from keyboard and monitor respectively. Okay, remember that these are not for the files, these are the standard devices. Okay, now why these are essential? Basically because we are going to implement the input output operations on the files, which functions we are going to use are called as get C and put C. We know that this get C and put C can only read a single character, and put C can only read or it can only print a single character on the terminal, right? So in order to support these operations, we require certain functions, right, which implements the same thing but not on the files but on the keyboard. Okay, now what we're going to do is that first we are going to write a program, okay, to read the contents Okay, read the contents from a file, and print on the terminal. Okay, try to understand the sequence or the procedure what we are going to do here. We have, see, this is the basic idea. First thing is that the input operation, then the process, and then the output operation. The understanding of this particular program, what is that input is a file, processing will be done by the program, and output will happen on the monitor. Output will happen on the monitor. We are going to implement something like this, which I have highlighted on the line number 8. Understood, students, what we're going to perform or what the program we're going to write here? Read the contents from the file, process it, and display it on the monitor. Okay, I'm going step by step, right? Now, in order to read a content from the file, we have studied unformatted character-oriented function by the name getC. What this getC will do, it will read a single character from the file. Then we can use that particular character, then process depending upon what the necessity of the program, and then we need to print on the monitor. To print on the monitor, which function I can make use of among these two? Putchar. I have to make use of putchar. So to print that content, whatever I have read from the file will be displayed on the monitor using putchar function. Understood the basic concept or what we are going to do in this particular program?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us start writing the program here. We know that before we make use of the files, we need to perform certain things. The first one is what? Declaring the file pointer. So declaring the file pointer can be done by writing a file as the keyword here, then asterisk, say FP. So now FP is acts as a file pointer. Now, can you tell me what is the next statement I need to write? Once the file pointer is created, what is the thing I need to perform next?
Sir, opening the file.
Opening the file. Very good. We need to open the file. So how do we open the file? By writing a statement simple as FP is equals to F open, right? Now it is going to take how many parameters?
Two parameters.
Two parameters.
Yes. First one is the name of the file. Let me call it to be a input.txt within a double quotes separated by a comma. And second parameter is going to be a mode in which we are going to open it, right? Since we want to perform an input operation, that is a read mode, so I can specify it to be a R here. That means now the file is going to be opened and the memory address will be assigned with the FP file pointer. Now, what would be the two possibilities here when we try to open the file? There can be a file opened successfully or there might be a failure. If it is a failure, then how do we handle that one?
File opening error.
File opening error. Can anyone try to tell me the code? How can we write? We need to check the condition, right? So if, what could be the condition here?
FP is equals to
null.
FP is equals to null. Very good.
Null.
Because if the file opening results in a failure, this particular F open function returns a null value. And eventually that null value will get updated in FP. And we are just trying to compare whether FP contains null or not. If it contains null, that means there is an error while opening the file. So we can just display an appropriate message stating to be file opening error. Some message we can print, and then we need to exit from the program because we cannot perform any other operations there. If the file opening is successful, then definitely it will not go into this. It will open the file. File will be opened successfully. Now here we want to implement the input and output operations. Now we need to have a file first of all. let me create a file by the name input.txt in the working directory. Working directory means the folder in which the program is stored. So now here, let me create a file. Let's say a new file I can create. I think let me create it using the terminal. That would be appropriate for you as well. As you have already studied, right, how to create the files using the terminals. Do you remember? In your first semester, computer fundamentals, you might have studied the different Unix commands or Linux commands to create the files and all. Now, let me just brief on you on that. Now, cat command can be used to perform create a file or to read the content from the file. If I want to create the file, then I can just simply add a greater than symbol with that. So cat greater than symbol followed by name of the file. So here the name of the file, I will give it as input.txt. And if I press enter, so now the file is created, it is opened, and I can write content on here. Pay attention, I'm just creating the file with certain content here. This is nothing related with the what program I'm writing there. Just a file I need, right? Now, let me write it as some content. This is line 1 is the first line. Then this is last line. Okay, then I can close this input by just pressing Control and D together. I need to press Control button, see, Control with D, I need to press 2 times on my console. On some of the Unix environment, if you press only Control D once, it works perfectly. Okay, now I'm just pressing that Control D. So now it is done. The file is created and the file contains this one. Just to cross verify the content of the file, I can make use of the cat command again. So I can just type input.txt without the greater than symbol here. So what it does, it will just print the contents of the file. Now you can see the content of the files are ready there. Okay, you can again cross verify from the terminal, from the directory also. If I double click now, you can see there are 2 lines. Earlier this file was not there. Now this file is being created. Okay, now the file is ready. It has 2 lines in that. Now that particular file, we want to open it by this particular program and read the characters or read the contents character by character, because we have studied only that particular function as of. Okay, now this is the file which we have created and it has this content. Now suppose if I start reading from the first character by using the get C function. So first initially it will read T. Then once I read the T, what I need to do? I need to print that T on the monitor. So I will assume that I read the T and then I printed on T. Then the next character H will be read and printed. I will be read and printed, and henceforth so on and so forth up to we reach the last character, that is E. After we read the character E, what do we have next character as?
EOF, end of file.
End of file. Very good. After E, after E, the file is getting terminated. There are no more characters or no more lines present there. That indicates that after E, there is something called as a special character called as EOF. Something called as an EOF, end of the file character. So that means what? I have to read until I reach EOF character in the file. As soon as I reach the end of the file, then I should stop reading the files, or I should stop reading the contents from the file. That means I need to use a iterative statements. Say a while statement would be more appropriate here. I need to write a while statement, a body of that particular while statement. Now, in the while statement, what I should do? I should read the character, right? I should read the character from the file. Which is the function which will help me to read a character? That is called as getC, right? We have studied this one in yesterday's class, getC. Can anyone tell me how many parameters this getC will take?
One
Remember,
parameter.
one parameter. What is that parameter?
File pointer.
File pointer. It is a file pointer, right? Then what it returns? It returns a variable of the character data type, whatever it has read. The getC reads a character which is being pointed by the file pointer, and then it returns back that character, whichever it has been read, right? So we require a variable, a character variables to store that particular character, right? For that, let us declare one variable here. Let's say char ch. Now this ch variable, character variable, will be used to store the character whatever this getC is going to read. Okay, now we need to read the character until when? Until we reach the end of the file, right? Now pay attention and try to see here how I'm going to write the condition inside the file. Now I need to read the I need to make use of the getC function. Now this getC function takes a parameter. Now the file pointer is what? The FP which we have declared, right? And then it is going to return a value or the character that we are going to store it into a ch variable. Now ch equal to getC FP means whatever this FP is pointing to a file, that is input.txt. In this particular file, read the character. Since I'm reading it for the first time, let me open the file here. Since I'm reading it for the first time, so first this T will be read. That T, now I need to check. I don't know whether is it a T or is it the end of the file or any other characters, right? There can be possibility that there are no characters in the file. So the first character itself is the end of the file. So I need to check whether whatever the character I read here, is it end of the file or not? If it is not the end of the file, then only I can print it on the monitor. If it is the end of the file, then I cannot print it. I have to stop performing the printing operations. I will repeat once again, students, pay attention. The character, whatever I read from the getC, I need to check whether that particular character is it the end of the file or not. If it is not end of the file, then print it. Otherwise, don't print. In order to implement this, I can simply write one more condition or one more operation here. Whatever this ch I have read, if it is not equals to end of the file, if it is not equals to end of the file, that means it is a printable character. I can print it on the monitor. How I can print single character on the monitor? By making use of putchar function. By making use of the putchar function, a single character I can print on the monitor. Now I have the character which is stored in the ch. So simply I will write it as a putchar, and this putchar accepts one parameter, that is the variable here, is ch, and the semicolon. Now what happens here? Try to understand this simple, just 2 lines of a code here. We are going to read the character from the file. Okay, now getC FP. It will read the character from the file, that is T now. T is being read, and that T is going to be stored in the ch variable. Now it will check the next operation. Is that T not equal to end of the file? Yes, T is not equal to the end of the file. The condition becomes true. Condition becomes true, and it enters into the while loop. And in the while loop, what we have? Putchar. So putchar means what? It prints a single character on the monitor. Which character? Whatever character I am passing as a parameter. In the parameter, I have a ch. Ch means the T. So now what will happen? T will be printed on the monitors. Okay. Now, since it is a while loop, after this statement is executed, again it will come back to the condition variation. So in the condition, what we have again a multiple statements there. The first statement is what? Again a getC. Now the feature of this get C is what? Once it reads the character, next time it is going to read the next character. So the next character is what? H. So now get C will read the character H, and now that H will get stored into CH. And is that H not equal to end of the file? Yes. H is not equals to end of the file. That means the condition becomes again true and it will enter into the file. And it prints that H onto the monitor. Like that, it keeps on reading a single character, okay, up to this particular character E. Once it encounters a E, it prints that also, and then the file pointer will move on to the next character of E. The next character after E is what? It is end of the file. Now, pay attention and see how it works. Now, the get C will read EOF, that is end of the file, and which will get stored into a CH. CH means now EOF is there. Now, is that EOF not equals to EOF? Condition obviously turns out to be a false here, right? EOF not equal to EOF, condition becomes false. Since the condition becomes false, it will not enter into the while loop. So while loop will get terminated. So now what this particular while loop has done now, it has helped us in reading the characters or reading the contents of this file character by character, and every read character was printed onto the monitors. That means we just did successfully the input operation. That is, we could able to print, we could able to read the file, contents of the file, and then we could able to print on the monitors. Once the operation is performed, the last step is to close the file. So how can we close the file? By just writing a fclose function and passing the file pointer which was opened earlier. Okay, now let us pay attention and see the execution of this program, and then once again I will explain you if there are any doubts. Okay, now let me move on to the terminal here. Let us compile the program. File number is 22 here, GCC 22. Let it compile. If there are any errors, it will throw the errors. No warnings, no errors. Let's execute. Now, can you see the output here? This is line 1. This is last line. From where this content is being printed? Actually, it is being printed from this while loop, this particular while loop. Understood, students?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I make any changes to my file, say this is the file, isn't it? Now, suppose if I change the content of this file, right? Say BCA second sem, okay, DS subject. Third line, demonstration of file input operation. Now I have added this particular content. Let me save the file and let me close it. Now this time if I run the program, we will see the same content, whatever is there on the file. Now this particular content is printed here. Following, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we can make use of the while loop to do that. If you find that if this particular code, this condition is confusing to you, we can make use of the do while loop as well. But there will be a problem if we make use of the do while loop. Okay, I will tell you what is the problem by just writing a simple code again. Let me comment this line as of now, and let me write a do while code for that. Okay, now do while, so do its content, and then at the end we will have a condition, that is while. This is the syntax of a do while, right? What we want to do, we want to read a character first. Let us read a character. How to do that? CH is equals to get CFP. So this will read a single character from the file, isn't it? Then print it on the console. That is, put char of ch. Read the character from the file. This is what? This is read character from file, and this statement will do print on monitor, right? Until when? Until the character which we read, that is ch, if it is not equals to EOF. Followed this particular code? Read the character from the file, print it on the monitor. How long you need to do? Until you reach the end of the file. Okay. Now, with this approach, with this particular lines of a code, if we run the program, you will see the difference here. Let me compile the program since we have modified it. Compile. Let's see if for any errors. No errors. Now execute the code. Let it display the content now. This is the output, right? Using do while, and this is the output using while. Do you find any differences between these two? This top one is using the while, and the second one, the bottom one, is using the do while loop. Do you find any differences? Can anyone see a difference here in the output? Charan?
So that
Yes, sir.
where
Sir, after operation, I think.
Yes, there is one extra
Yes,
character getting printed, right? There is a
Yes, sir.
kind of a square which is getting printed. Can anyone try to tell me why that is printed? I have put you both the codes here. Both the codes are here. Can anyone try to understand and tell me why this extra character is being printed?
Sir, because in do while loop, first it executes and then it checks the condition. So after printing the n word of the operation, it again executed, sir, without checking the condition.
So yes,
So
fine. Okay. You try to explain. Fine. Can anyone else? Anybody else try to put it more accurately? I got your point, Charan, what you try to say, but can someone try to explain little in detail or? Okay, let me give a try here. Now, we know the differences between while and do while that I'm not going to cover up here. Okay, now in do while, let's see in do while what's happening. Do, so it starts execution ch equal to get c and fe. So it takes a character from the file. Let me try to explain from the last character. So last character after n, it would have printed. Then after n, there is a end of the file in our actual file. There is a end of the file character, right? So that end of the file character will be read here. So it will read EOF, and that EOF will get stored into ch. After that, put char means you print that EOF on the screen. So this something a non-printable character kind of a square is getting printed, and then there is a while loop, and in the while the condition. Is that the end of the file? Is it not equal to end of the file? No, it is end of the file character itself. So the condition becomes false. So in do while loop, what will happen? It will read and print end of the file. It will try to read and print the end of the file character also, because the condition is being validated after printing, right? Now, in order to overcome this particular problem, it is good that we make use of the while condition, because while condition is what? It is a condition will be validated at the beginning. If the condition is true, then only it will proceed further, otherwise it will not proceed further. So as soon as the last character here, if it is a EOF, then eventually this particular condition turns out to be a false. It will read the character, but it will not print that character on the screen. The code wise, you might feel that it is simpler to understand, but there are certain flaws in this code. So we will not make use of this code, but rather we will go with the while loop convention. We'll go with the while loop convention. Understood, students?
Yes, sir.
Are you finding it difficulty? Are you finding it difficulty in understanding the files concept? So your silence says that it is difficult, right? You need to know the concepts which, or you need to remember the concepts which you have studied so far. So if you know those concepts, if you remember those concepts, then only the upcoming concepts, all the concepts will be helpful for you. That's why, if you remember, from the very much the first classes onwards, I'm telling you, remember the concepts, then only it will be helpful for you. Okay, understood, students here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.